Good morning, students. Computerized accounting video lecture on Tally ERP9 with GST features. Earlier few videos we understood about what is GST, components of GST, tax rates, exempted goods, and how to solve the GST problem by using Tally. Today's lecture also we discuss about same basics. Our intention is to understand repeatedly. If we chant the basics, then we can understand the GST, which is part and parcel of our life. Wherever we go, we will buy a good or we will utilize a service. Then we will find GST, either CGST or SGST. Then we can understand what exactly it means. That is the intention to repeatedly knowing or repeatedly explaining about the basics. Okay, students, we'll go more to PPT and to understand GST. And later one problem from question bank, theory and practice of GST. Question bank is there. From that we will solve one problem to understand the basics. Okay, students, I will open the PPT for you. Right. In different context about GST, it is a tax that customers have to bear when they buy goods or services, such as daily needs. Almost all, whenever we purchase any item, very few items are exempted from GST. If we bought any item, we have to bear the tax. That tax is indirect tax. Why it is called indirect tax means we are not directly paying to government, we are paying to trader, and the trader will pay to government after deducting some taxes which he already paid. That is called input tax credit. But it is rather levied on the manufacturer or seller goods and the providers of services. The sellers usually add the tax expense into their cost, and the price the customer pay is inclusive of GST. Okay, our regular it is introduced in 2017 by Narendra Modi government. This is 2020. Okay, almost all we felt experience of paying GST, but we don't know what exactly it is. So now onwards, you please observe. If any bill you receive for buying the goods or receiving the services, whether GST component is there or not. If GST component is there, how much it is a rate. So that rate is either central government rate or state government rate or union territory rate or CST or IGST means which is levied on interstate transactions. Okay, so this was introduced by Narendra Modi government in 1st July 2017 onwards, and almost 2 decades in the making. The concept was first proposed under way back Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. Later governments also strived to introduce this tax, which is very easy to collect, easy to calculate, and easy to compliance. So one tax, one rate, one tax, one India, one tax manner. So at last, then Indian government from 2017 onwards, succeeded to introduce GST. Components are rates of GST benefits. It is a change in India's biggest tax system overhaul since independence. Okay, since independence onwards, we are coming with the different taxes. Sales tax. We studied sales tax in our MCOM subject. Later, I took a project means thesis in value added tax in my MPhil. Presently, it is a GST, goods and services tax. Either sales tax or value added tax or GST, goods and service tax are the indirect taxes. What I'm telling from 91 onwards, 91 to 2020, okay, almost all 30-40 years system was changed and make into one tax, that is GST. GST replaced a plethora of indirect taxes such as state sales tax, service tax, excise, etc. into a single central tax regime. Earlier, when we studied in MCOM, there are list of taxes list of rates are there, on list of tax items are there. That is very hard to the chartered accountant to calculate the taxes. He has to remember everything. Then value added taxes there. Four rates are there, and that is make it simple. But value added tax was not in compliance with the other countries. Other countries are following GST. Then Government of India coming to conclusion to come with a GST, a suitable tax which can be merge all indirect taxes into one tax. The biggest benefit of GST that it opened up the entire India as a single unified market, allowing for free movement of goods. Okay, so here it is. Allocation is sir. Class continue. The biggest benefit of GST is one tax, one market, one India, one tax. Almost all the goods which were started in Jammu and Kashmir, those were sold in Kanyakumari, Kashmir and Kanyakumari. Then throughout the flow of the goods, only one tax rate is applicable. GST allowed for faster movement of trucks and led to require for fewer warehouses across the several states. Earlier, people try to do the business like this. Wherever the goods they are getting for the less cost, or where from which state the tax rates are less, they are try to get those, and they are trying to sell those goods in their state for the higher rates. Such things are there. That's why warehousing point is there. Now the way bills are there, which was e-way bills, electronic way bills. Directly you can send all India only one tax. That's why it makes the government to go for faster movement of trucks, and storage facilities or storage of the goods become less. Okay, and GST has multiple tax rate slabs for different categories of products. As we already understood about, there are 4 rates are there: 0, 5, 12, and 20, 18, 28 are there. 5, 12, 18, 28, 4 as well as 0 is there. Okay, so all these are the goods were defined by the GST Council, and GST Council, according to the GST Council instructions, goods were charged. Okay, so not more rates, only 5 rates are there. As we already discussed the GST types or components of GST. One is a CGST, that is central government tax, GST, state SGST, state government tax. If the goods are sold in union territory, that is a UGST, union territory tax. If the goods are sold in other state, that will be integrated goods and services tax. And where the GST is not applicable. Number one is alcohol, beverages. Okay, government, it is a revenue generated item. That's why all the statements, state governments were given a power to impose tax on their own to reduce the consumption and discourage the consumption. So one is on alcohol products, taxes are imposed by the state governments as per their requirement as well as per their need. Okay, petroleum products, and that is also not comes under GST, and GST Council and many state governments and public are demanding or requesting the central government to make these petroleum products into in the ambit of GST. That's why prices of the petrol and petroleum products will be reduced automatically. The prices of the goods were also to be reduced. Then coming to the tobacco products, where the central government has the power to levy taxes, excise duty on the tobacco products. And these products, tobacco products were sometimes tax rate is 70%. Some of the items were tax rate 70%. If those were brought under GST, highest rate in GST is 28%. So the prices of the product will be reduced, then the consumption may increase. So due to that, government, central government, kept these tobacco products out of GST. Entertainment tax and electricity, salaries, funeral, burial, cremation and mortuary services, sale of land, sale of buildings, actionable items, lottery or betting, gambling, services by any court or tribunal, functions performed by MPs and MLAs, and duties performed by any person who hold any post in pursuance of the provisions of constitution in that capacity. Legal, that is called as a legal. So these are the few services and services which were not services and goods which not comes under GST. Okay, and the rates difference between we usually heard about these 4 points. One is zero rated goods. The goods which we are exporting the goods, that goods are zero rated, and the goods which were manufactured at special economic zones, that those are also zero rated. Nil rated, okay, those are zero rated, then will be nil rated. Supplies that have declared rate of GST, that is salt, grains, jaggery, food items. Some food items are zero, and exempted goods that are taxable but do not attract GST, for which ITC cannot be claimed. Those are fresh milk, fruits, curd, bread, etc. These are exempted. And non-GST, these supplies do not come under the purview of GST law. Alcohol, just now we discussed those things. Okay, you please observe, you had an experience of like this invoice when you purchase laptop or when you purchase any item, TV, you will find this invoice. Okay, can you find CGST, SGST? Supplier Ravindra Automobiles bought goods from supercars, 2 cars at the rate of 2 lakhs each, and SGST, CGST at the rate of 28%, 14% on 4 lakhs is calculated, and on the premium goods, there is cess also increased, 1% cess is also calculated, and that you can find in this invoice. Now we are doing this GST problem from the question bank of theory and practice of GST. That is problem number 43. Create 5 stock items with GST at 0 tax rate, 5% and 12%, 18%, 28% also. Interest rate, record interstate purchase and sale transactions. Show the details of input tax credit. Okay, we had one seller and we had one buyer. Indrani Enterprises in Nizamabad bought goods, these items from Hyderabad, that is Arnold Traders. Okay, so we will go to tally. Tally, Alt F3 for new company, GST. Country India. Once we created, we have to enable the GST pages. Okay, F11, statutory and taxation, GST enable. Right, regular. We have to give number. Number we can give later. Monthly GSTR and reports, variable CS. Goods value, taxable goods value, right. Now items, we will create items, we minimize. All items, milk, under primary, units of measure is not come. We'll go for single, okay? Milk is measured in LTR. No alternative units, standard enable. Right. Next item is milk powder. Packets, powder packets are there, Alt C. Custard powder. All these we know very well because we practiced earlier. Here we are discussing about for only understanding the GST features of Tally. Chewing gum. Packets. Right. Now we have to create purchases. Here different purchases are there. Purchases at the rate of 0%. Under purchases, CH purchases at the rate of 5%. Under purchases. So we can take instead of all items, we can take purchases group here. Under purchases, every time need not to be selected. Purchases at the rate of 12%. Purchases at the rate 18%. At the rate 28%. So all we created under purchases. Next we will made it as a sales also. Create only purchases, na? Right. Next we will create duties and taxes. Under duties and taxes, GST at the rate of 0. GST at the rate 5%. GST at the rate 12%. GST at the rate 18%. GST at the rate 28%. We made wrong. Okay, half now we have to do half. 9%. Six percent. 2.5%. Is 0 only, okay? At the rate 2.5%. Just a moment. Right. Okay. Now we'll create Mr. All items. Assets. Is sundry data. Just we have to create Indrani Enterprise because Arnold is ourselves. They are buying the goods from us. Sundry creditor. When we create single, we can enter the GST number also. Now we will pass the voucher, accounting voucher, purchases, Indrani, sales tax number it is asking. Purchases at 0%. Milk, quantity 100, LTR, rate is 20 per liter. GST is 0. GST also 0. Indicates that it doesn't have any tax. Okay, right. Next purchases 5%. Milk powder 202. Indrani Enterprises. Purchases at percentage is 5%. Milk powder, quantity is 100 packets, 15 rupees. GST 2.5%. It is not calculating. Control will complete and we'll see that. GST 2.5%. Right. Edit the purchase. 2.5% change. Total sales is GST. We'll check the voucher. That is the method. Means IGST, CGST, we have to enable them at that point. Okay, okay, students. So you practice for the remaining items also. Okay, na? Remaining tax rates you edit and you practice those items. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe the video to get updates whenever it is updated in my channel. Any doubts are there, you can message me. You are having my number and you can call me. And we are having unit test, internal test from December onwards. So you please prepare first unit and second unit, and we will try to send objective questions to you for reference or to attempt the video, attempt the